Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships, and in this video I'm going to be taking a look at some of my top picks for this ranked battles, because we have the Silver League entirely based on the tier 9 ships. And you can see here, if I look at the Silver League, this is the Bronze League. The Silver League, you can only pick tier 9 ships, which means that, well, you can play either battleships, cruisers and destroyers specifically at this tier. And well, in this video I will only gonna explain the battleships, why they are powerful enough, and according to this meta, because meta has changed in this game for every season. We come up with new battleship that come up with new gimmicks, and they will give you a weird sense of power. But it is definitely a power that Wargaming always add every single time. So in this video, I will try to take a look at some of my favorite, or I would say my picks that I will definitely gonna do to play this ranked battles at tier 9 for battleships. And so if you do find this video useful, and if you are a new player or maybe an experienced player, I make daily World of Warship videos and you can definitely get a lot of value and some sort of guide and some good reviews on the ships, or also the gameplay in general, or maybe something about the development blog that Wargaming always come up in future. So for that, be sure to hit a like, subscribe to my channel, and let's start talking about, I would say, these ships. And I do have some good recommendation for the Tech Tree tier 9 ships, and one of them is right in front of your screen, and that is going to be the Los Andes. This is the Pan-American battleship that is very much focused on secondaries, even though it also come up with a lot of guns. But the only problem with the Los Andes that I kind of felt that Wargaming also have recently nerfed it, which still is fine. Like, they have nerfed the secondaries and all that, and even reduced that powerful acceleration that the Libertad and the Los Andes line comes up with. But even then, with the nerfed secondaries, they are still very powerful. You have 234mm guns. Like, having heavy cruiser guns strapped as a secondary is a big thing. And I mean, when Los Andes was unnerfed, it was ridiculously powerful at tier 9, and even after the nerfs, it still is very good. We do have 12 guns, 381mm. Yes, there is no overmatch. You can't overmatch some of the heavy cruisers, which is gonna be a problem. And then obviously the penetration will be also slightly less than, I would say, compared to 406s, 400 and even 57mm guns that you might see, like a couple of them like Sun Yat-sen or Georgia. So those are the ships that does have huge advantage over 30mm, I would say, cruisers or some of the battleships as well on broadside, dealing insanely high penetration damage. And even then, I still would say the secondaries are really good enough. They have really good penetration, 59mm pen, 21% fire chance. They absolutely blaze battleships and cruisers that push into you, and your secondary range is good. And I mean, the key feature of the Los Andes is the F key. Like, anything that goes out of your secondary range, you can pull him back, press the F key, and it's very easy to load out. Like, all you have to do is to just hit the shells. It's pretty simple, and then you get extra range, reload time and damage on secondaries, which is still very, very good even after the nerfs. And that's why if I have to personally pick a battleship like the Los Andes, I will definitely gonna go for this. Yes, the good thing is that we don't have carriers at tier 9, which means your anti-defense, even though it's mediocre, does not matter. And your concealment is also good. If you build it for concealment, your concealment can go to around 13-ish kilometer. But the secondaries should be your main focus, and you have to play it careful because, well, you do have boosted survivability in terms of that you get the decent cooldown time of 60 seconds. So rather than 80 seconds, you have 60 seconds of cooldown time. And if you use improved repair party readiness, you will get extra heal. And even with the 4th pointer heal perk, you will get even more heal. So Los Andes, in terms of survivability, very good, very potent. You can see you have 51mm deck and side. Very resistant to AG shells. You do have a superstructure, but it's not big. And a lot of the area is also covered by turrets, so they sometimes soak up a lot of edgy, raw penetration damage. And that's why Los Andes armor is one of the very strongest ones. And I mean, you also kind of get resistant to be getting Citadel. And that's why, if I have to pick a ship which is overall reliable for a tech tree, Los Andes is something that I will absolutely going to pick. Now, some of the players might disagree because of the nerfs, but again, even after the nerfs, you cannot go wrong with this. I just love it. If I have to play Los Andes, if I don't have any premium, I will play this one first, that's for sure. Now, if I want to have alternate in a tech tree line, I will specifically go for Rupprecht. It's again a German brawler. Again, the speciality of the Rupprecht is going to be secondaries. Improve penetration on the secondaries itself, like you have some 38mm HE pen on some of the secondaries. Yeah, yes, they don't do like crazy damage, like the Los Angeles 234mm secondary battery does, but they are still pretty good. You throw a lot of shells as well. The volume of shells is the key in Rupprecht versus the quality of shells that you can get on the Los Angeles with the secondaries. And yes, the advantage of the Rupprecht at least have that it's going to have the overmatch of 27mm, which means that you can actually overmatch these ships like Alaska that you find a lot. Alaska, even some of the German cruisers that have 27mm bow, those ships like I would say the Aegir, the Siegfried, you might see those, I would say, heavy cruisers pretty much commonly at tier 9. They will definitely gonna throw those cruisers at you. So that's where the penetration, or I would say the overmatch, will be pretty decent, and the guns are a bit reliable. I think it does have, I would say, the battle cruiser dispersion, if I'm not wrong. So the gun's accuracy will be pretty decent, even though you have only 8 guns. And what gives Rupprecht edge compared to the Los Angeles itself is going to be the torpedoes. You do have some torpedoes, they have decent range, and that is something that can be pretty valuable under some circumstances where you are in kiting position and someone is pushing aggressively and you just send these torpedoes. They can be hard to detect for a battleship, even though they have very slow sort of speed on tops itself, but they have decent damage and you can clip a couple of torpedoes onto a battleship, can get a permanent flood. And obviously they are also taking a lot of secondaries. You can set a lot of fires. You can use IFHE to improve the penetration to 32mm. That is totally up to you. I might or might not use it. That's totally up to how you build the Rupprecht with the captain skills. But I would say you do have some edges, and that is the volume of secondaries, even though they don't have like crazy pen like the Los Angeles. And also you do have the torpedoes. Again, the problem with the Rupprecht is going to be the entire defense, which does not matter. So that's why these ships can be really good in a tier 9 specific ranked battles. And your concealment is also pretty decent, slightly better than even the Los Angeles. So you can outspot him if it is coming against you. So at least compared to many other tech trees, these two ships will be a lot powerful and strong with secondaries enough that can help you win games. Now, the best thing about the Rupprecht compared to the Los Angeles is again that you actually has Hydro and also the fast damage control team. Meanwhile, you do not have, like Los Angeles, the improved repair party, not the improved, you don't have the improved cooldown time on heals. So Los Angeles get the advantage of survivability by having the better cooldown time, but you have the Hydro, so you dodge more tops, and you also do have the fast DCP, which means that you completely extinguish your fires relatively quicker. Well, again, the same thing. You do have some areas that makes you a battle cruiser. These are the things that you have to really manage. Your armor is pretty overall okay. You do have some areas where you can utilize like the side plating. These are very tanky. You can bounce some shells, but again, someone can absolutely wreck you from the bow. So it's a battle cruiser. Treat it like that, and definitely Los Angeles will be slightly more of a battleship because of the 32mm plating on bow and stern. But even then, the Rupprecht is a very powerful sort of battle cruiser, and you cannot go wrong with either of these picks. And well, at least compared to many other tech trees, you should definitely look forward to them. If I want to pick a hybrid class battleship, I cannot go wrong with Kearsarge. Kearsarge is a beast at tier 9. Honestly, Kearsarge has everything. You have the ability to spot with the help of planes, you launch planes, you deal crazy damage, you have such a high amount of payload in your rockets that you can absolutely obliterate a battleship with 20k salvo if it's unsaturated. And that's where Kearsarge shines. And not only that, your planes having spotting, so you can spot destroyers, that ultimately gives you a better game impact. You can absolutely crush cruisers because you have 406mm guns. By the way, these are North Carolina guns, which are pretty good in penetration. Yes, the shells are a bit arky, but then you have access to 6th slot of the artillery plotting room mod 2, which means that you will have the improvement in the main battery shell dispersion. And that is something that is only associated with American battleships specifically. And that's why Kearsarge will become a powerhouse. With the planes and the gun performance, you have insanely good firepower. Like your accuracy with 1.9 sigma, with this dispersion mod, it's really good. Very consistent guns. Yes, they can be a bit difficult. You have to play North Carolina at tier 8 to figure it out, the gun performance. And if you can really find and feel that you can utilize those guns on North Carolina at Tech 3 tier 8, then the Kearsarge is going to be the best thing that you can pick. Well, the thing about the Kearsarge is obviously going to be that you do have a tumor of a superstructure which you have to really mitigate. At long ranges you will be fine because you can bounce from the 38mm deck. Yes, this can be farmed crazy, and this is the reason why if you want to just pick a meta, this is a meta battleship. I'm not gonna say that it's a weak in any way or form. It's just that you have to play it at safe ranges. This designed in a way that you use the planes to set fires, and if you want to even switch to HE, courtesy of John Doe, switching time gonna be pretty easy, like thanks to the main battery shell type switching time to -60%, you can quickly switch from HE to AP, or AP to HE like crazy. And that's where you can set fires. Great accuracy, great setting fire ability because you throw so many shells. Your reload time might be slightly worse at 36 seconds, but this is the only balancing factor in terms of firepower. If this ship would get 30 seconds, with the dispersion mod and 1.9, this becomes pretty completely busted. It's already very, I would say, borderline OP. But it's just that your armor that you have to mitigate well. At long ranges, it's going to be fine. At medium to close ranges, you have to really play it carefully. And honestly, if you play this ship very correctly, maybe I might show you the gameplay at tier 9 ranked battles. It's a beast of a ship, man. It's really powerful. Very frustrating for the Jaegers. Like, if you find a DD that is Jaeger, what he's going to do about you? Like, he can't shoot down to your planes. Even the Yugumo, any torpedo, even the Benham, you might spam Benham in ranked, and suddenly you see a Kearsarge, and Kearsarge just gonna hover the plane on top of you. This is gonna make any destroyer life nightmare, because if he does not have the smoke, he's completely screwed. This is so huge advantage that I can't emphasize you enough how much you can win battle just simply by the help of spotting. It's crazy. And well, you can just utilize this insane firepower, the insane rockets. These rockets are stupid, man. You just have you even tried like rockets on an unsaturated target? Like, if you do not get any of the plane shot down, this is gonna be dealing 15 to 20k damage with double fire or single fire every single time, and their reload time is like under 2 minutes. So you basically plane launch every single time under a very limited time scenario. And you can just spawn and do a lot of things with this. So if you know what you're doing, if you have ever played hybrid ships, if you are interested in some of the accurate battleships at tier 9, while playing it at long ranges, not super long, that you just do not take any damage, which is going to be the curse of picking a hybrid, because a lot of players I have seen, they just play it as a carrier, which is the most dumbest thing to do. Like, completely ridiculously dumb. You have to utilize your hull. You have to really bait enemies to shoot you so that you soak some damage for your team. If you do that, it's a really strong battleship, okay? Definitely my pick. Personally, there might be more, but I will basically going to explain them one by one. But that is also going to be my pick for the ranked battles. Another ship that I will definitely going to pick at tier 9 is going to be the Illinois. Now, this is the Research Bureau battleship, and well, the performance of the Illinois is such that you are literally playing cruiser, but having all the benefits that the battleship class gets. If you don't understand what I meant by that, well, let me explain this quickly. You do have 203mm guns that you find on Des Moines, which is a tier 10 cruiser. But these are strapped onto a battleship hull, which means, well, insanely good armor, especially for the American class that does have 38mm deck inside. So you can see this is huge advantage. Yes, you do have a superstructure, it can be farmed and yada yada, but again, you won't be getting overmatched like cruisers. And you know that cruisers suffer a lot with the overmatch nowadays. The Illinois is a breath of fresh air that wants to have the cruiser, I would say, caliber guns, cruiser reload time, but having all the benefits that the battleship gets, which means you can apply fire prevention, you can tank like crazy with 32mm bow and then 38mm side and deck, and you can also put yourself in kiting. you can be better than cruisers because your armor is better, while having the Des Moines guns, which is still one of the very powerful guns in the game because of the improved pan angles, which it does have. So if you want to smash a battleship, hit onto the upper belt and you will see you will do 8 to 10k pretty easy, no problems. In your EPDPM and HEDPM is pretty good for that. Like, this ship can rival against the battleships in kiting extremely well, and even you are in bowing in situation, you can deal with cruisers as well because of your ability to just mitigate so much fire damage. Cruisers, heavy cruisers like Alaska, the Azuma, those cannot have the perks, I would say, that can improve, like, they cannot apply the fire prevention, right? And they cannot apply, I would say, the basics of survivability. They cannot even apply the improved repair party readiness, which basically increases the consumable charge and also improve the healing load up. So that is something that Illinois gets with the cruiser guns, and that's the biggest benefit of this battleship. That you want to play a cruiser, a safe sort of cruiser, with this armor scheme, Illinois is the best ship. And honestly, if you know what you're doing, you can counter DDs even better, because then you do not need to suffer from the relatively long reload time. You have under 9 or I would say 10 seconds of reload time, and do not forget that, well, you throw so many shells, they will set fires. So it's an amazing fire starter. You have 16% fire chance. You cannot go wrong with this ship. Honestly, this ship is a beast. If you know what you're doing, your survivability is pretty nice, pretty decent overall. Amazing battleship, honestly. But you get that cruiser benefits and battleship benefits at the same time. And I mean, do not forget the fact that you can even improve with the help of the main battery shell dispersion artillery plotting room mod 2. Increases the accuracy pretty nicely. It does have a battle cruiser dispersion, mind you, for these cruiser guns, so it's not cruiser dispersion, but even then, once you apply this, you will be very comfortable. Your shells will be accurate enough. And yeah, do not forget the fact that you also apply the DCP mod 1, which, by the way, can have a DCP up to 30.8 seconds, which is again the perk of the American battleship, that they have base 20 seconds of reload time, or I would say 20 seconds of, I would say, consumable action time. So they have a long action time. You improve it with the help of this, and you know, you just get so much value. A very powerful battleship you can pick for this ranked battles. Now, this is the rare battleship, Musashi, and I can definitely understand not a whole lot of players does have it, but if you do have one, and if you maybe get it in potentially Santa containers in the future, I think this is one of the best battleships at tier 9, simply because of 2 reasons. One, and that is the guns. And second, well, the best thing about the Musashi is that even though it does have the worst anti-air at tier 9, if I'm not wrong, it does have so crap anti-air that even tier 6 carriers can easily drop you. Like, tier 6 carriers can drop a tier 9 battleship. That is how bad it is. But the thing is, there are no carriers. So it does not matter. You are playing a Yamato at tier 9 because of that with 1.8 Sigma. So Yamato has 2.1, this has 1.8. So that is the only downside that the Musashi has, and everything else almost is the same. Amazing deck armor, 57mm deck armor, very small superstructure. If you bow in like this, you can be stupidly tanky. You have so much armor. Yes, you do have 32mm side plating, which you can mitigate, just like I said, by staying here, and you have insane HP, 102,000 with 55% torpedo protection. And this is the thing that no battleships will be getting here at tier 9, and that is insane survivability. Your survivability is so much, you can soak up damage so much, you can heal up damage so much, that it is very difficult to basically kill you. And especially when there are no carriers out there, it's gonna be even difficult for Valparaiso. Like, Valparaiso, I'm saying the word Valparaiso can be pretty powerful against Musashis, but as long as you are super angled, all it can do is to set fires, and you can always at least shoot his bow, the Valparaiso. Again, Valparaiso, I will come back to that. It is one of the most powerful ships, without a doubt. But Musashi can still, with its survivability, can do well against the ships even like Valparaiso. Sometimes Valparaiso can troll the Musashi, but that is if you are not bowing in. And if you're showing a lot of your booty, like in kiting, Valparaiso can just absolutely ham you because of that improved pan angles. But Musashi, if it stays like this, Valparaiso cannot do anything. Like, it's going to be ridiculously difficult for a Valparaiso to deal with the Musashi that is like super bowing in like that. All it can do is to set fires, but then you have so much HP to heal, so much torpedo protection against torpedoes, and that's why, from the survivability, it stands out compared to any other battleship. Now we take a look at the guns. That's also the standout feature. Now you don't get the accuracy, okay? That's one thing, but it's still having decent accuracy and still having amazing guns that you cannot go wrong with the gun department. The guns are really good. You have really good penetration. Your reload time is very good, just like Yamato. So in terms of the reload time and the gun performance, absolutely A tier or even S tier. Perfectly powerful enough. The only thing that the Musashi does suffer is the cheek. This is obviously very known. If you have played Yamato, this is the thing that you have to protect. If you're able to do that, so Musashi is just a solid pick. Like you cannot go wrong with Musashi. Sometimes the shells can troll you at ranges, but most of the time, man, your penetration and the guns are super consistent. Cruisers will cry. You can overmatch anywhere. You can overmatch even battleships. This is the only battleship. Musashi is the only battleship that can overmatch 32mm. If I'm not wrong, yes, I can just realize that there's no any battleship at tier 9 that can overmatch 32mm. So Musashi still retains that crown, and that's why, because of the survivability in the guns, you cannot go wrong with Musashi. What a ship, man. It's insane, like how they managed to put a tier 9 even though it's tier 10. It's just it's crazy, man. Just to balance out, they just nerfed the entire, and we don't have carriers, so you can understand that why this will be a very powerful ship. The Pan-American battleship Valparaiso obviously going to be the best ship and the most powerful pick that you can do. Even slightly better than Musashi. I said that Musashi can bowing in tank Valparaiso pretty comfortably and can deal well, but Valparaiso has every single thing going for it. Like, your survivability is just completely cracked, and your F key ensures that you just heal up infinitely during that time. The moment the secondaries are keep hitting, your F key loads up, and then you just have the free DCPs without any I would say penalties, and you have tons of healing potential, like 7 heals healing 20,000 HP in a single heal. Like, you can have 140,000 HP, more than that if you get extra heal thanks to the improved repair party readiness, and you can easily get 2 million potential. The survivability is through the roof, and on top of that, they make sure that you do have really good secondaries, really good reload time, so that the F key completely gets cracked. It procs every single time, and the guns have improved penetration angles, so even with tighter angle by battleship or cruisers, you will still going to have a good chance of penetrating them at these areas. And I don't know why they have given improved pen angles, but I mean, it's pretty solid. Like, to just give you a comparison, to just give you a simple comparison of the meta that is right now, we have the John Bart. Now, I'm not going to recommend John Bart. It's not a bad ship. It can be pretty fun. I haven't talked about this, but just to give you an idea, John Bart has also 380mm guns, but having 23 seconds of reload time, okay? Valparaiso also have 8 guns, 380mm guns, and have extra reload time improvement. Why? John Bart with those caliber having 26 seconds of reload time base, meanwhile Valparaiso gets 25? That tells how much meta has changed, how much wargaming really wants to make the reload time superior in these battleships like the Valparaiso in its full form. Now, I just hope that they don't nerf it, but if they do, well, I already talked about in many of my older videos that it can potentially get nerfed. It is right now too powerful in current state. I just hope that they don't completely mess up the players who just going to buy it in the steel wheel event, because this is gonna be a part of next update. In a steel wheel event, you can get it for some steel. Now, I don't know what Wargaming will do afterwards, but I have basically some speculations. You can always watch the videos older of mine. But anyways, the Valparaiso is a beast. It's stupidly broken. It is so ridiculous with the survivability and with the F key. You just can survive crazy. You can even survive some of the insane torpedo spam that even maybe a Benham can do, maybe some really powerful torpedo threats can do, because thanks to you healing, say 33% of citadel damage, and also 75 or I think 85% of the penetration damage. You can heal this like crazy cracked amount of citadel and penetration damage, which basically ensures that you utilize all the heals, and that's why it's crazy. And I mean, we talked about you have improved acceleration, stupid acceleration, like and your maneuverability is like crazy. You have cruiser. Your rudder shift time is cruiser levels, like heavy cruiser levels of rudder shift time, even better. 7.8 seconds of rudder shift. Yes, I ensured this with the help of the rudder shift time mod. But again, you do not need any fire duration, because you just keep proccing the F key. It will ensure that you are full immune to fires and flood during you using secondaries. It's crazy. Infinite heals, in terms of potential, and infinite DCPs obviously, as long as you are keeping the secondary shells hitting onto our target. It's completely cracked, without a doubt. I don't know how they will do the changes, but this is gonna be my pick for sure in the ranked battles this season. Now, some of the honorable mentions that I might do is going to be the Daisen. Well, we haven't heard Daisen a lot, right? It's, by the way, a dockyard battleship, and honestly, actually very powerful, with the help of the insane penetration on the guns, really good reload time, and also you do have like stupidly high damaging drops. It's something that you get on Daisen, and your Sigma parameter is 2.1, and you have Izumo guns. The Izumo guns are known for like stupid penetration numbers. It is very unique in a sense that you get the best of the guns, main battery guns, and also the torpedoes, which is something that I just love like a lot. And Daisen can be sort of underrated, not heard or known anywhere, because it's a dockyard ship, pretty much understandable. But still, if you have this ship, you cannot go wrong with this ship, especially if you are close, and if you are putting yourself in kiting, send those torpedoes, really good top firing angles. This can actually gonna be doing pretty well onto these brawler battleships that are pushing you, but you have to be in kiting because your armor is not the best. So that is something that you can really do something about if you want to make it work. And also, I would say the Georgia and the Missouri are also along the lines. The Georgia is obviously a beast of a battleship. You get the overmatch, you get the good like really good speed, something that I just really like. But I'm sure not a whole lot of players will have Georgia, but if you do have one, Georgia is obviously going to be in my honorable mentions. And obviously the Missouri. Now Missouri is the only reason why I would rate Missouri is, first of all, you have a counter to DDs, something that even though your guns are okay for today's meta, like 406 1.9 sigma, the guns are fine, accuracy is decent. It's just that now you do have some sort of counter against DDs, which obviously if you can kill DD, you can have a good game impact, especially if he smokes up and you can instantly radar him. You basically catch him off guard. Sometimes DD don't understand this, and Missouri can actually counter this pretty nicely. So Missouri, Georgia, and Daisen can be also my picks for this ranked battles. So let me know, guys, what do you think? Which battleship will you pick for if you want to play ranked battles? Well, I have given some of you guys the idea that what I will be picking. Now there might be so many battleships. I can talk about every single battleship, why it's good, why it's not, but I will personally pick some of these battleships. And that's why I think if you have them, you just play them. You cannot go wrong with any of them if you pick some of these meta battleship picks. Now Missouri might not be the meta battleship, but at least you do have the radar. Valparaiso is a meta battleship, so these are the things that you can really ask yourself and just answer. Like, these are the ships that I will pick. What you will be picking, totally up to you. Now you can always argue, oh, I want to buy or get the Navarin. Navarin is a good battleship. Honestly, it's a good battleship. You can pick that. But I won't pick it. I have my issues with Navarin, but that's my personal related. You can always let me know in the comment what will you pick. So thank you guys for watching. I will give you a cruiser and destroyer analysis as well, my personal picks for the tier 9 ranked battles, and then ultimately we will take a look at tier 10 ones as well. So thank you guys. See you later. Peace out.